I'm not big for you. I'm big for me.
Wow, like, because I really thought I was on my way.
Only you can stop him. Go for it.
Hello and welcome back to another Inspired Living interview. You know, I think so many of us reach a time in our life where we just feel like we are up against incredible odds, obstacles that we don't know how we will ever make it through. I know I've certainly felt that way. And when I learned about Aaron Baker, I have to tell you, I was so excited to bring him to you. He has inspired me, and I know you're going to love getting to know him today. So just so happy I get to sit down with Aaron and his beautiful mom, Laquita, today so they can share their story with you. So Aaron, Laquita, thank you for joining me today. You know, I meet a lot of different people, and it's really about inspiring other people to live out their calling. And, you know, Aaron, I think sometimes in life our calling can change depending upon what obstacles come our way, what life hands us at that moment. But I want to talk about how you started at 3. You found a love for motorcycles and motocross. At 3, really? 3?
3 years old, yeah.
I'm trying to think of myself at 3. I don't think I would get on a motorcycle. But tell me about that experience.
Yeah, it's one of my earliest memories. Looking from the top of the stairs down onto a little motorcycle sitting in front of the fireplace, and I don't know, it was love at first sight. So I slid down the stairs in my onesie PJs and threw my leg over the motorcycle, and that's it. I was in love.
I can already see the picture, the onesie sliding down the stairs. So what happened after that? You fell in love with that, and then that eventually grew into a professional career for you.
Yeah, I spent a lot of my childhood dreaming and you know, envisioning myself riding that motorcycle for the rest of my life. I found a lot of freedom and liberation in it early on. And so I chased that. I chased that no matter where I was in the world. I was gifted extraordinary opportunities as a boy to travel and experience a lot of culture and a lot of different things, but my passion was always that dirt bike.
Amazing. And I've seen some of the footage, and it looks pretty dangerous, to be honest with you. I'm not a mom yet, but I'm like, oh my gosh, that's, you know, as we get older, I think fear sets in. But you have to be pretty fearless and confident when you're on that bike, going out there and doing what it is that you do.
Confidence is probably the key word. That motorcycle built confidence in me like no other. Truly, it was, I was able to, I think, find strength and courage in myself through that vehicle. And so basically that motorcycle helped shape who I am today.
Did you ever wonder what if something happened, or what if because I know you probably crashed a lot, had to get back up again, kind of just part of riding. Did you ever wonder, gosh, what would happen if something traumatic happened? Actually,
yeah, a little bit as I got older. And I experienced a little more traumatic accidents, crashes, broken bones. I was never exposed to a spinal cord injury or anything to that extreme, but there was something instinctive in me. I knew that if I had ever broken my neck or became paralyzed, that it was my worst fear and that I wouldn't want to live. And
that you wouldn't want to live.
That I wouldn't want to live. And I recall a few times just prior to my accident where I had a little crash and I laid there in the dirt, and the first thing I did was wiggle my toes. And to even have that thought cross my mind was scary.
Yeah.
And so I recall lining up on the starting line at my first real professional race at a Supercross, and I had seen a friend of mine that was actually paralyzed 6 months before, and he had wheeled up to me in his wheelchair, and it was so shocking and so terrifying that I had that fear in me on the starting line. I knew that I don't know, it altered the way I thought about it.
Sure, because once fear comes in and you let that have a piece of your mind, you probably start reacting and doing things that you wouldn't have done before if that didn't start to seep in.
You become extremely defensive.
Sure.
And so from that moment on, it was in the back of my mind. It was a seed that had been planted that started to change who I was at the time.
Did it bring your confidence down, or did you feel like you had to actually overcompensate for that fear? Cause I think in life that comes in at so many different points in our life.
It's interesting. It brought the confidence on the bike down.
Mm-hmm.
It brought confidence to my life up.
Mm-hmm.
I was compensating, like
Right.
you say.
So tell me about May 26, 1999.
May 26, 1999, a day like any other. I recall it very well. Waking up, the sun on my face, going down, getting a coffee.
You were how old?
I was 20.
Okay.
Just turned 20.
And when you were you on a professional
Yes.
motocross team at that
Yeah,
time?
I just
Okay.
signed to my first professional race team. Very excited, with all my peers, racing, being paid. It was, the dream I'd always dreamt of.
Mm-hmm.
I had vision boards of writing my name on the wall saying, I, Aaron Baker, will be a,
I
professional.
am. Powerful words, aren't
Very.
they? Yes.
So I declared that, and as an amateur, I achieved those goals. I became national champion, and I was paving my way. And that day, May 26th, came, and there was something a little off about the day. I was doing things consciously that I knew were going to have an adverse effect. I poured bad gas in the motorcycle. I knew that it could have a problem, but I did it anyways. I was running out of daylight. I knew that I needed to kind of hurry it along. And so I was forcing all these things to happen. And I recall manifesting this for myself.
So what did happen?
So there was a malfunction with the engine of the motorcycle on one of the largest jumps on the track I was at. And it catapulted me over the handlebars, and I basically left the motorcycle in the air. And it wasn't all that odd. It was familiar. I'd crashed like that before, but I was instinctively thinking I didn't want to break my leg. I wear rigid knee braces, and it was in the middle of the season, and so
flying high in the sky, you're thinking, I don't want to break my leg.
Yeah.
That's your...
So instinctively, I kind of tucked into a bit of a ball, and I over-rotated, and I landed and hit the ground head first.
Oh my gosh.
And it was instantaneous, like a light switch. I heard my neck break. I recall the sensations or lack of sensation as I tumbled violently down, in the dirt. And I came to rest on my right side with my left hand in front of my face and barely breathing. My chest, my body, everything had shut off, literally. And laying there, recognizing the similarity, no difference between myself and literally the stones that lay on the ground next to me.
No movement.
No movement.
So you knew at that moment that you had broken your neck. So to have that awareness, like, what did you do? I'm sure everyone came to you and was around you at this moment.
Something kicked in. Instinctually, I instructed people that did come to my aid not to touch me. Basically just call for the paramedics, a helicopter, and as soon as they were at my side, I continued to instruct, do not remove my helmet, just stabilize me, don't worry about the rest of my body, I know my neck is broken. And I stayed conscious all the way until my MRI, of which they then removed my helmet, and I woke up later, I guess a day or 2 days later.
Wow, Aaron. So what was I have to ask Laquita, your son, right? You knew this was a really kind of dangerous hobby, sport, career that he had. Did you ever worry about anything like this as a mom?
It's interesting, worry. This was something, Aaron's father and I were not together from the time Aaron was 3 years old, and his sister was 1. The motorcycle was something that my father and his father bought together. I was never in alignment with his racing. As a very, very young boy, it wasn't formalized as to what my fear was about it, but I knew that there was danger.
Sure.
And I didn't think I could go through it, but more importantly, I didn't want that for Aaron. So that was always a huge division for us. So he rode while being with his father, and with me, it was
coloring.
Other things,
right,
other things,
right, sure.
Travel, music,
sure.
hiking, everything for this little boy to be very, very, very well-rounded.
Right.
So
let's jump to the prognosis. Let's jump to, okay, you had the MRI. We know you broke your neck. What'd they tell you?
Well, fortunately, I've got quite an intense, strong-willed mother. And the prognosis stayed out of my room. But the prognosis was that I had a 1 in a million chance of ever feeding myself. I had broken
1 in a million chance
of ever feeding myself. So I broke 3 vertebrae in my neck, right in the center, and it controls all bodily functions, everything.
So what happened? I mean, I see you now, and we're going to see you in a little bit of walking around. You got back up. What was it, Aaron? Because most people, I don't care what area of life, when someone says you have a 1 in a million chance of getting to this place, I think the average person would say, I'm out. Too hard, 1 in a million. Okay, I'm gonna lay here. I'm gonna be a quadriplegic, or I'm gonna not pursue my dreams, or get up again. I get mom, that was a huge part of it, but there had to be something within you that said, I'm gonna keep going today.
For me, it was a profound moment of a near-death experience. 6 days into the accident, my lungs had filled with fluid, and I basically drowned in my own body.
Wow.
I had a conscious experience with the disillusion of the reality that I thought was so real. And from that moment, that experience, I was resuscitated into a conscious awareness again. For a second time, I have an opportunity to just blink with my eyes and share another breath,
Yeah.
a moment of love, and I have a little bit of time. And all I can do with that is share it, give it away. Because at the end of it all,
That's all we have is today. And love, right? And our stories and the ability.
time and love.
Yeah.
That's what I learned in that moment. And so the paralysis, the injury didn't matter to me. I knew that I had a family and a network of friends that would all culminate and catalyze energy, which would allow me an opportunity to work if I choose. And the only way I could repay that love is to do just that, just work, just do work. So I put my head down and I keep my eyes up, and that's what I did and I've done and I continue to do.
Tell me about getting back up on a bike. When and how in the world did that happen?
My process of healing, recovery, redefinition, everything about who I thought I was basically up for creation. I had to create myself again.
Right.
And fortunately, I had an environment, the optimal healing environment to do that. It started with, like Mom had said, music, meditation, visualization. Visualization is always a huge part of my life. I did it as an athlete.
As an athlete, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, visualizing perfect laps, visualizing, winning. So I employed that. I applied it to every aspect of this process, from the earliest days of flickers of movement, when my sister actually painted my toenails.
Yeah.
Which I was.
They were rainbow colors.
They are rainbow colors.
And that helped you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
How did that help you?
They're rainbow colors right now, actually.
Are they? we won't make you show us.
It helped with the visualization process. channeling colors of light through my body. I mean, my body was alive. There's nothing wrong with my body. There's a small electrochemical glitch, you know, the trauma center in my spinal cord. I knew that if I could just, you know, basically force signals through my body, that it knows what to do.
Mm-hmm.
My body knows what it wants to do. So I would just build on these little flickers of movement, you know, move that color, envision myself basically anywhere, anytime, any place. And I had these vivid dreams in the hospital that I'd be riding a bike for some reason, a bicycle. I mean, obviously I've ridden bicycles or two wheels my whole life.
Right.
A pedal bicycle, I don't know. I had long hair in these dreams, and I was wearing chamois and tight spandex. But I entertained these, and so I would use it as kind of fuel to further push myself.
Do you think those dreams were an accident?
No,
No.
no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't think they're accidents. I think things happen for us. They don't happen to us.
Mm.
This was an extreme opportunity of which I would not change one aspect of this entire journey. Everything is perfect.
Oh, come on, Aaron. People would say that he's so full of crap right now. But you really mean that. There's nothing that you would change. Yeah. It's good.
No. The things I do with my life and my time today are so much more meaningful and purposeful, not only for myself, but those whom I get to share with.
Yeah.
Trophies, motorcycle wins, whatever.
Speaking of a greater good, you guys have come together with Taylor, and you have put together something pretty amazing. Tell me about CORE.
CORE, the Center of Restorative Exercise.
Mm-hmm.
We've dreamt about these four walls for quite a few years. Really, actually, at the Center of Achievement, Cal State Northridge, when we first met Taylor, there was a place there that had red carpet, and there was adapted machinery, and Taylor was the director there. And I thought to myself, well, why isn't this available to the general public?
We both did. I mean, certainly in my journey of trying to find Taylor, you know, after the hospital and all of the doors having to be constantly knocked down, just to pursue, not adapting, but just wellness.
Right.
To find Taylor was so enormously difficult that seed was planted right there.
To find someone that would actually help you.
That would help him.
That believed in the possibilities.
Yeah. So that seed was planted in us long ago. And the phoenix was just an appropriate
Rising
symbol
yeah, for sure.
for what we were doing. And so, you know, incorporating that into everything that we are and stand for was just natural. And so we would talk about CORE and the idea, the vision we had, the concept really. We promoted that on the bicycle tours, and we validated that there was an extreme need. There's a huge gap between traditional rehabilitation and Gold's Gym.
Right.
I
Big
mean,
gap.
Massive gap right
Yeah.
there that needs to be filled. And so we thought, you know, if not us, who?
We talked about it for so long that people honestly thought that we already had the center.
Act as if, they say, right?
And,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
actually, there were times that we had to question our own sanity because based on really where we were and
Yeah.
living on such a tight.
I can only imagine.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, oh my goodness. But we just held the vision, and we would say, we're going to create it. It will. Yes, we're crazy, but it's only through the cracked ones that light is led into the universe.
Amen for that. Amen. That's
So.
great. That's great. So, Aaron, what makes CORE different than any other gym?
Well, it's post-rehabilitation, but it has no feel of rehab. I mean, when you walk through the door, there's the environment is cutting edge. I wanted it to kind of be like my race shop. You know, clean, sharp lines, aggressive, you know, bold and powerful coloring. That way that it's not associated with anything clinical. No doctor, no.
It does not feel clinical at
sterile
all.
hallways,
Right.
no rehabilitation. We don't want to be in rehab the rest of our life. We want to be empowered. And so it's the essence of CORE. You know, what you think about when you envision the brand. when you see the logo, when you come through and you see other people that have, they're facing their own adversity.
Right.
And so we come in here and we kind of kick ass together.
Kick ass together. I like it. And actually, you're looking to expand. It's gone so well. So you launched it 1/11.
1/1/1/1. So
that was a lot of ones. So
yeah,
okay.
January 1st, 2011, and we're going into our 3rd year here, and we want to expand this place. Rather than doing a second location, we want to keep the quality high and train our clinicians and do everything out of this location. And so we're preparing to do that this year. And so, the other differentiator here is basically the knowledge and the information that we share with our clients. That's why just expanding this location and training more clinicians under our methodology is so absolutely vital, because we empower the clients with information about what they're doing and why they're doing it.
So look at how that day back in 1999 has literally changed so many other lives because of that accident that, as we believe, was not an accident, right? It brought you to where you are. So what's next for you?
Well, I am newly engaged.
Oh, well, that's fabulous. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, my beautiful bride-to-be, Caitlin McClellan Devine.
Devine is the last name. Wow.
Yes. I knew I had to put a ring on it.
Yeah, with a last name like that?
It was instant. It's extraordinary. Everything since the moment I met her, she has just amplified my life.
And you weren't looking at all?
No.
No.
No, I'm very happy with who I am and where I am in life, and I guess that's cliche, That's how it happens.
But it's a cliche because it's true, right?
Very.
Yeah.
It applies to me very much. And so this year, our plan is to be married in July 26th, the day we met, in Malibu. I'm excited.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I know that there's an athlete in you, right?
Absolutely.
So what's like the next challenge for you, the next step in your own journey?
Right. I really enjoy setting goals for myself and working towards something specific. General health and fitness is one thing, but having a target goal works a lot better for me personally, because I like to train with intensity, and I like to analyze my progress. So I just finished a walk across the desert. I walked 20 miles across Death Valley.
Oh my gosh.
In October, which was pretty
20 miles.
Yeah. That was an extraordinary expedition for me. But I think I may return back to the bicycle, or maybe something in the water. But just adventure. I have an adventurous spirit, so I'm always going to chase that and challenge myself. And so 214, there will be an adventure.
There will be an adventure with Aaron Baker. Let me ask you one thing before I let you go, Aaron. Back in 1999, you went through something, and you continue to go through something that most people will never really understand. But for the people that are watching, for the one person right now who is going through something that seems so insurmountable, what are maybe the one or two things that you would tell them to help them get to that next place?
Allow people to come to your aid. I'd say the most important thing someone can do when faced with adversity or anything in life, I think, really, is working together with people. Allow people to help you. It's
you don't have to do it alone.
No. Life is worth sharing, and that's what we're here to do. We use the acronym with TEAM, TEAM, together each achieves more. And so, with that in mind, we can set and achieve seemingly insurmountable odds or goals. And we do that every day. We do that together. We do that with gratitude. And I'd say that's probably the most important thing to launch any ambition, idea, concept, vision.
Awesome. Thank you, Aaron. And thank you to your mom, Laquita, for sharing her beautiful story today. And thank you to you for watching. If you want more inspiration, and let's face it, we know you do, just go over to inspiredliving.tv, because when you are inspired, you inspire others. And as always, keep dreaming it, living it, and being it. Until next time.
Cheers.